here in the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traoré, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara President Traoré, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite. And Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you, and we will not let you down. What can we do, Mr. President, to play our part in building the Burkina Faso we want?
Tension and the panic increased. They do not know what Ibrahim Traoré and Russia is planning. Most of these leaders that are panicking right now are the corrupt leaders. They are the ones that when they come into office, the first thing they will do is to approve SUV for every governor, every minister, every lawmaker, every senator. These are the ones that have been misusing their country's economies. And Ibrahim Traoré is against this action. He is the only leader in Africa that never approved the use of SUV in Africa. And anybody who is going to work with him must use his own vehicle to come to work. Instead of misusing the money to buy Toyota Land Cruiser SUV, Ibrahim Traoré used the money to buy tractors and employ people. All these old leaders who have been criticizing Ibrahim Traoré but had used their country's money to go to Japan to buy Toyota Land Cruiser SUV are now panicking because they have found out there is one thing different between them, and that thing is mismanagement of public fund. Now, they don't know his action. Well, and this is the reason I have always said, the clear conscience fears no accusation. These leaders who have used their country's money to go to Japan to acquire Toyota Land Cruiser SUV. Some of them have bought up to 1,000 pieces just to make sure that they enjoy in their office why the masses are suffering. All these leaders, they have guilty conscience inside them, and that is the reason they are now panicking. Had it been that these leaders are completely clean, would they be afraid? Of course no. The reason they are afraid is because they know they are corrupt. And the weapon coming into Burkina Faso is now making them to be afraid. Because they don't know what this young leader is going to do. Ibrahim Traoré may do something that Africa never expected. Him and Russia may go and be joining some opposition party in some corrupt countries to make sure that Africa is getting out from corruption. But this rumor, nobody knows whether it is true or not. The only thing everybody is aware of is that the number of ammunitions coming in to Burkina Faso. It's unbelievable. And African leaders never seen anything like that before. As I'm talking to you right now, there is a drone in West Africa owned by Ibrahim Traoré, latest Bayrata Turkish drone hovering in West Africa. Now, Ibrahim Traoré is monitoring West Africa. This is unbelievable. And a young leader, whom nobody believed in the beginning, has become the one God sent to show the template of good governance. Many countries are wishing if Ibrahim Traoré is from their country, because Burkina Faso has never had a good leadership, as she is having it right now. And a lot of people would wish if this is happening in their countries. I just come to show you that there is a panic in Africa among the corrupt leaders. Why are they panicking? Guilty conscience. They know what they are doing wrong. Those Toyota SUV they are using to confuse us, that each time they win an election, they go there in Japan to pack 400, 500, 1,000 pieces, 300 pieces, to bring it into Africa and began to enjoy misusing our economy. Now the guilty conscience has caught them. When Africa is suffering, there is no factories in Africa. If this money they are misusing in Japan by buying Toyota SUV have been used to create factories, things would have been better today. Some of those Toyota Land Cruiser they are buying in Japan, the bulletproof one costs $200,000. The ones that are not bulletproof cost $150,000. Each one of it can build 3 factories in Africa. Africa is importing everything, but these corrupt leaders are misusing their country's money to go and buy Toyota Land Cruiser for 4 years. Why didn't they use it to build factories if they come for good governance? Now, there is panic among themselves. Let's see how this ends. Thank you very much for watching. This is Intavlog. Thank you.
Ibrahim Traoré has done for Burkina Faso is more than what some of these puppets have done in 40 years of being leaders of certain African countries.
Yes.
Those selfish, greedy people have done nothing. They've got nothing on what Ibrahim Traoré has done in this short period of time.
I am not a politician. I'm not joking. I am a soldier. And I prefer to tell you the truth. Everyone is free to take or leave. Everyone drives around in their car. Everyone is living well. We eat in the morning, we eat for lunch, we eat at night. We do what we want to do. We are free to talk about saying what we want. It's democracy, it's the right, that's all. That's all we know about in Ouagadougou. But go ahead and see the children who have skin on their bones. Go see those who are starving. Go see those women who can no longer breastfeed because they have nothing left in their breasts. Go see them. Let's not pretend. If our journalists do not have the courage to go to the field and bring you these images, it's because we want to wash the image of Burkina. I tell you that it is false, it exists. When I tell you about the people who eat the grass, whoever wants to challenge, I'll bring him tomorrow. Go see, it continues, it has not even stopped. Because we were able to supply some villages, but others not yet. We are still on the way. No civilian can even support with trucks so that we can be in solidarity with this population. What integrity is this? What is integrity, Burkina Faso? What is it? This lack of support has deeply unsettled and revolted us. Until we address the core issues plaguing this country, we will always be revolted. For the moment, we've managed to secure some trucks in the army and have been using our own means to transport supplies. However, this hasn't really added much support for the starving populations. And even in this, there's been a distinct lack of empathy. Citizens knew about the situation, but they've remained on the sidelines. It is to say that solidarity has disappeared in Burkina. Have pity for the people. Have pity for the youth. Have pity for the children. What did these villagers do? So that when the sun sets, they find themselves in the caves under the trees. They leave the village, and in the morning they show up. They look to see if everything is okay before coming back. They sleep in the bush. They can't sleep at home. We don't tell you these truths. This is the reality of Burkina. We only see our cities. We are responsible for what happens to us, and we will be fully responsible for what follows. Either it's good or it's bad. It will depend on our behavior in the future. Everyone has to give their best. I think we can do it. I am optimistic. I hope we will get there.
Ibrahim Traoré proved to be a visionary leader who was not only highly motivated, but also had a clear and practical plan of action to address the issues that were affecting our nation. It has come to my attention that Ibrahim Traoré, when it comes to his political ideology, has demonstrated a common-sense solutionist approach. An example of this can be seen in his efforts to address a crucial issue in Burkina Faso's mining industry. Despite being one of the world's largest suppliers of gold, the country did not have its own refinery, which meant that miners had to export raw ore to other countries, particularly in Europe, to have it refined. This led to a loss of wealth and opportunities for the country. However, Ibrahim Traoré recognized this issue and took action to address it. He commissioned the building of a gold refinery, which not only helped to create many jobs, but also brought wealth to the country. With this refinery, Burkina Faso can now refine its own gold, which will improve the value of the country's exports and provide more opportunities for growth and development. In an effort to combat corruption, Ibrahim Traoré, the head of state, has recently issued a new decree that empowers citizens to anonymously report cases of treason, misconduct, and corruption. The new measure aims to create a more transparent and accountable government and to encourage citizens to come forward with information about illegal activities that might be happening within the government or among the general public. A 35-year-old president is changing Burkina Faso's future. Here's how a just 35 President Ibrahim Traoré is defying the expectations of corrupt leaders in Africa. In a series of bold economic reforms, Traoré is focused on empowering ordinary citizens with an emphasis on financial inclusion and growth. His latest move, the inauguration of the Postal Bank of Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou, a revolutionary institution with an initial capital of 15 billion CFA francs. This bank, years in the making, aims to provide financial services to young people, women, and agricultural workers, those traditionally left behind. Traoré's vision is clear. No Burkinabe should be excluded from the nation's economic progress.